Football in this country will receive a major boost next week when English Premier League sides Newcastle and West Ham touch down in New Zealand to play our very own Phoenix. It's going to be really exciting. The West Ham squad includes, of course, this fellow, All Whites captain Winston Reid, who grew up here in Auckland, South Auckland, before moving to Takapuna over the bridge and eventually to Europe. So in support of the tour, Dan Parker met up with Reid and West Ham ahead of their visit to the country young Winston came from.
It's the opening game of West Ham's pre-season, and a full house at Stevenage is in full voice. In the midst of all this is Winston Reid, All Whites captain, South Aucklander, a Kiwi cementing his name in the big leagues of European football. He's the first Māori to play Premiership football, and he's loved by West Ham's typically hard East End fans.
He's our most important player, and we need to give him a new contract as soon as possible.
Some of the Hammers' die-hard fans will travel to New Zealand in the coming days to support the club as it tours New Zealand for the first time.
They always get behind you, and there's been a good following even today, you know, so I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to our first home game, and looking forward to going to New Zealand as well.
So just what will football fans be in for?
Whipped in by Downing. It's Reid!
Well, the English Premier League, where Reid plies his trade, is the most watched football league in the world. It creates household names and millionaires.
Oh, what a goal! That's a good shot! It's more than that!
The money's big, ludicrous even. England's top earner, Wayne Rooney, reportedly receives £300,000 a week. That's 10 times what Reid is rumoured to make, although he's not complaining.
Is it given? The answer is no. Out by Winston Reid, good defending.
He says he has his dream job, and it's not a complex one either.
My job's sort of hitting the ball, clearing it, and taking the aspirin after, I guess.
Is it like that? I mean, is it pretty brutal?
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, you know, playing a tough league, it's very competitive.
That's a great ball in front, Smith.
Competitive maybe, but while you're on top, life is good.
How many hours a day do you train in that sort of thing?
I mean, it varies, but normally we train 3 times a day.
And we're given an exclusive glimpse into the everyday world of a professional footballer as guests of West Ham at their pre-season training camp in the French Alps. This is Evian, a small but wealthy township on the shores of Lake Geneva between Switzerland and France. It's here Winston Reid and West Ham are preparing for their New Zealand tour in opulence. Club captain Kevin Nolan, like most of the squad, has never been to New Zealand.
Really looking forward to going over there and seeing the sights and seeing what New Zealand's all about.
And I'm going to put you on the spot here, but what did Reid tell you about it?
Well, he said it's going to be cold, which we weren't too happy about, because normally when we're in pre-season everywhere's warm. And he said that, you know, the people are, you know, very welcoming, and he said that we'll really enjoy it once we get over the jet lag.
The Football United tour against the Phoenix will also include fellow Premiership side Newcastle, as well as Sydney FC. Matches will be played in Dunedin, Wellington and Reid's hometown Auckland.
I was talking to some people behind the scenes where it sort of, when the conversation sort of started really, and you know, I was excited about it. You know, not for me personally, but also for my club. I think it will be a great opportunity to see a different side of the world.
It'll also be a chance to see for himself the impact his success is having and the message of hope it carries. As a boy, he grew up in Papakura. Now, alongside the Phoenix, his sponsors and friend Phil Parker, he's helping to create pathways for other aspiring South Auckland footballers.
The first couple of years I grew up in South Auckland as well, so I know sort of what sort of life it is it is down there, and you know, to have kids that don't have so much that can get opportunity, get a pair of football boots or whatever, it means a lot. And you know, I'm in that sort of sense where whatever I can do to sort of help those people is great.
Today, those boots are being handed out by the Phoenix players. It's a small helping hand Reid knows can inspire.
Cool boots, eh?
But so too can words, and it's hoped Reid will be able to share some when he arrives next week.
He'll be able to bring home some really important messages to them around, you know, having good behaviour and being a good citizen, and you know, trying hard in class and things like that. You know, because I know Winston was a good student back at school and that as well when he was a young man.
It's that support which is getting these boys to want to follow in his footsteps. An amazing development in a rugby-mad country.
Small, mate, small. That's the one.
So when you were young, were you thinking about being an all-white or were you thinking about being an all-black?
It's a very good question. I think probably football was my first sport. My mum didn't want me to play rugby. She thought I was going to get bashed up.
It was that influence that turned Reid into one of the country's best-paid sportsmen, and he hopes his story will inspire others to believe they can do the same.